Hey everyone, welcome to Sacred Laughter Podcast. I am your host, Chris Dameron. Hello everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode. And I have my youngest daughter, Iliana, with me. Hi. So last episode, you heard me talking a little bit with my oldest daughter, Lily, about some of the coping mechanisms or ways that she thought about the transition from moving from multiple locations and then now settling down here where we're at in Washington. And I kind of want to do the same this time with Iliana. So, Iliana, welcome to the show. So one thing I want to ask you is, as we moved from location to location, right? And I know you're young, so a lot of it really didn't help out much. So we'll talk a little bit like just moving wherever you can remember, from Alaska to Washington or North Carolina to Alaska or whatever. What are some of the things that you noticed that helped you with the transition from moving, or things that you wish we probably would have done a little bit differently?
Well, you guys were very supportive of us moving and saying we would make a lot of new friends and we would have new decisions of how we would make with our new friends. And what was the question?
What is things that we could potentially do a little bit better?
I don't know.
No, can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that some of the friends that you had in Alaska, right, this last time, do you think they helped you cope with some of the transitions that you had, because they were also military children and were able to overcome some of the challenges? And then were you able to discuss with them a lot of the things that you were going through, being a new student into the school, even though you've been there before, right? But just meeting new people and dealing with the neighborhood friends or teachers.
Yeah. And they've helped a lot with that. A few of my friends were homeschooled, but I still made new friends in school.
Yeah. Not really talkative?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's talk, what about the transition here to Washington, though? What do you think about that? Were you scared? Were you nervous? Were you excited?
Well, I was nervous and excited because I was nervous to be moving to a new place where I didn't know anyone at all. And I was also excited because you guys were talking about how you guys would show us places because I was born here and how you did some fun stuff with Lily. But I was really excited to move here.
Yeah. It was fun, knowing that we were going to come back to Washington, but then also being here and we see some of the places that, me and your mom would go to, especially some of the parks, and you've been to some of them, and now, we go out camping and everything. So that's a new adventure that we have.
Yeah.
Right. And I think also too, though, when we got here, we knew a couple families that were still here.
Mm-hmm.
We really didn't interact much with them. And I don't know why, we reached over text and call, but that's about it. But, I think we have then we ended up finding, son and Jackie, which, their family's phenomenal and such huge influence in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And, but what if we didn't find them? Where would we be, based off of your thoughts? Or where would we be as a family, or,
If we didn't find Son and Jackie, for me personally, I would probably have a very bad mental state, probably, because Avery and Anya helped me through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But with us as a family, I feel like we would kind of be a little lost because we have a strong connection with them. We can tell them stuff that we usually don't tell other people. And we feel very connected to them, our second family.
Mm-hmm.
So if we didn't have them, we'd probably be lost too, because you're in the Army, you have stuff that since you're retiring, you'd probably be like, oh, when you find your job, all this other stuff. But now since you have the job with the church.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, we also look at it too, though. It was very unique how we ended up finding the church, right?
Yeah.
With Son and Jackie, being the pastors there. And then, us rekindling our friendship with Jackie, from from our previous relationship that we had in Germany, but I think it was the right opportunity and the right time that it came, right?
Mm-hmm.
God willing, He put that in our lives, but I think I shouldn't say, I don't, like you're saying, I don't think we'd be lost. I think that we would probably we'd be living the same life, but we would probably not have the deep connection with other family, with another family that we currently do now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Which is true, and I think Avery and Owen, and, even Joyce, having them around and, sharing a lot of stories and the connections that we have, when we go camping and everything, you have friends to be with.
Yeah.
But we do life together as well. Right. So I think that, being part of the transition as well and finding them has been an awesome opportunity for us. Right. But now let's talk, one of the transition that we're going to go into, like next year, you're going to go into high school.
I'm so excited about that.
I think we're excited too. You're getting older and, you and Lily will be in the same school and she could drive you.
Yeah.
But what do you think is going to be your biggest challenge when you start going there?
Probably the classes and like trying to, not like catch up. Well, kind of, yeah. 'Cause this math class is kind of hard since I was in a lower math class last year. And this one's kind of more struggling, but I feel like I like the struggle. I kind of like struggling through life because I feel like it makes me stronger and more kind of independent with some stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think also too, it makes you tired. Right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to come home and just lay in bed all day, which is fine. Kind
of doesn't help that you just stay up late.
Yeah. But, I know you wanted to talk about this a couple times, and I think it's a good opportunity to talk about, so you have dyslexia.
Yeah.
Right. So what is your definition of dyslexia?
My definition of dyslexia is kind of like I have struggles with reading, writing, definitely writing.
Mm-hmm.
Math is kind of easy, but sometimes I flip some stuff around.
Yeah.
And then talking to, because I say my words that comes out of my mouth are different than what I think of.
Yeah. But when you look at the definition of dyslexia, you have, it's hard to compartmentalize words, put them together.
Yeah.
Right. You potentially miss words. Right. Or you don't truly understand, now I'm not going to say the meaning of the word, but it's hard for you to understand the sentence that is, that you've read.
Yeah.
Because, our brains, I had dyslexia as a kid, right? And Gigi will tell you that. I think I've been able to overcome it, but there's definitely times I still see it, throughout my life and work. But I think it's, how you can overcome those small battles to be big victories, in life. So, but I think, it doesn't help either. So you have glasses, right? And then with that, you have, I think you have a little bit of bifocal with it too, right? So the bottom part's a little bit bigger. So you have a little bit of astigmatism too, which is, we caught early on when you're a baby. So you have all this, piling up, right? Yeah, I guess you could say wounds, but, and then it's kind of like fine tuning all the pieces, right? Because you took a little bit of speech class and you took a little bit of, going to the eye doctor and,
eye therapy.
Yeah, eye therapy and getting the eyes just right.
Yeah.
And, but I don't think it's, as your father, right? I don't think it's ever stopped you from achieving a lot of things that you want to achieve, right? But it definitely, there's a setback when you're not getting the outcome that you want, or you're not getting the grades you want.
Yeah.
Or even at school, like some of your teachers, you have an IEP individual education program, but they're not following it. They potentially treat you like the rest of the students. But a lot of the teachers there too, are very understanding, supportive, right? And they're helping you, right? So I could see, going into high school, a freshman, and then having to deal with all the other older kids and, even the kids around you that don't quite understand. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a struggle. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you're ready to hit it head on.
Yeah.
Right. Grab the bull by the horns and just send it. But, but what else? What else do you think of?
Wait, dyslexia?
I mean, of everything in general.
Some of my friends don't really understand it, and sometimes it's hard for me to explain it. But some of my friends, they kind of understand it because either they have friends who have it, or they have it. And I feel like with the people who understand it more, I feel like I relate better to them because they understand what I'm going through and they can help me along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone learns differently, right? So there might be something that, I mean, you've been able to find something that works for you.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're able to share that wisdom or the knowledge with another person that has it, and then same vice versa for the other person.
Yeah.
You know, they have something that works for them and they're willing to share it. So that's good. And then hopefully, you know, when you get into high school, you know, the counselor will be able to work with you a little bit better.
Yeah.
Right.
Like this year, they just started helping me with reading and that stuff.
Yeah. You know, and that's going to be, you know, that's going to be huge next year. Right. It's going to be, you're going to have your ups and downs.
Yeah.
Right. And if you look back to Lily, she had her ups and downs, you know, but you just got to make sure that you get, you know, into some good extracurricular activities. You know, if you still want to do choir or you want to, you know, participate in bowling like she is, right? Hopefully. So, but
you really want me to join bowling, don't you?
I do, just because I'm trying to get coach next year. But, you know, on the topic, but you know, like I was telling, like me and Lily talked a little bit towards the end, like we're about to have a big transition, right? With me finalizing, you know, my retirement, right? And then transitioning into a new job and everything else. So,
yeah.
You know, what's your thoughts on that? How do you feel about that?
I'm happy you're leaving the Army because some of the people there were very rude to you. And I'm just happy that you actually get to get out and do the things that you actually love. Like, I know you love being in the Army and helping people and killing. Pow pow. Well, not the killing part, but I like how I feel like you like defending your country.
Yeah.
It was a struggle for us because you would leave, I'd be worried. Yeah.
No.
But then I feel like it was kind of, I'm not saying good, but I liked having the space because then you'd come back and we'd have like so much to talk to you about. And I loved how you'd still be able to like to call and stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's something I share with other, you know, fathers and spouses or husbands, I guess you could say, is like, you know, when you're gone, I mean, you missed my first 2 deployments because you weren't born yet, right?
Yeah.
But you were, you know, I did the 9-month to Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
Still was able to call, you know.
That was very hard.
Yeah. And then last year I did the 6 months, you know, away into Taiwan, and then all these other small ones, you know, like Hawaii and all the other trips around through training exercises. But, you know, like I always tell it, you know, there's always the positive out of it, right? Like, yeah, you're away from your family, you know, are they going to do okay? Like, we don't have a son, right? So I can't like put him in charge.
Yeah.
Right. Your mom is very competent and she's very stern and strong woman, right? Very independent. And so is your sister. So I had 0 issues with that or worries about it. But, you know, the nice thing is like, or the fun thing is like you come back, you're able to like reconnect.
Yeah.
You know, and I use the term a lot, like with husbands, is like, hey, when you're gone, like you get to re-fall in love with your wife.
Yeah.
Right. Or you're fall in love with your spouse. So I think with you guys, same thing as kids, like I get to relearn how you guys operate.
Yeah.
You know, and as you guys got older, you know, things have changed. You know, when you guys were younger, you're like, you know, you want to be in your snuggle phases, you want to do, you know, laying with me, hanging out with me, doing stuff. And then it kind of stopped for a while. And then I think now the transition is kind of there a little bit more, which is great. I enjoy that. And then, you know, now since you're older, like we're doing a lot more things together.
Yeah. Like there's more fun stuff that we can do. Like with us being smaller, we couldn't really go around and do as much stuff. But since we're old and older, we can do more stuff with you guys.
Yeah. And, you know, and I'm not going to say it's just Washington. I think it's anywhere we could been. I mean, we went caribou hunting up in Alaska.
That was so much fun.
You know, together. And we'll share that story here in a minute. But, you know, like, you know, we went fishing out in the Puget Sound, you know, for what we call flounder, small halibut.
I loved my job.
You know, yeah.
The wooden paddle.
Right.
I was terrible at fishing.
You know, we went, you know, we've been crabbing. You know, we've been camping, you know, and me and your sister, you know, she participates in the camping too. We've gone up crabbing a few times and we've been golfing. So I think, as a transition of me getting out, like I'm able to be home more. That's
Yeah.
what your sister talked about
I
a little
love
bit.
you being home more because I feel like we can connect more with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you were in the army, it'd be, well, you still are, but when you were in the middle of the army, you'd be gone to 5 or 5 to like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And we couldn't really talk about how was school going, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because it was like, get home, have dinner. You guys are getting ready to go to bed. I just want
Yeah.
to fall asleep because I got to wake up at 4:35 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see a huge shift here, come next year.
Yeah. Like, I love you being home more, but sometimes it's kind of like frustrating, kind of, because I'd come home and you'd be like, yo, what's up? And you'd be on the couch watching your movie or something. Like, I've been on the TV once,
Yeah. Well,
which I'm kind of good with because TV rots your brain.
Yeah.
But I like it.
I like YouTube, right? But
You like the hunting and golf videos.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, we talked about like going when we were up in Alaska, going caribou hunting, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. So I think it was like the first winter hunt that we did, right? I told your mom like, hey, I'm gonna wake up early and go hunting. I asked you and your sister if you guys wanted to go. You're the only one that wanted. So
Yeah.
right. So we stopped at the gas station. I think we got a soda or a coffee or something, and then we got
You always get
oat
those.
milk cream pies.
I love those.
Right. So, and it was the winter hunt. So you're looking at like, I think it was like -30,
Yeah.
-40 that morning.
It was
We get up there and the snow was super deep. And
Yeah.
it killed one caribou.
Yeah.
And I always tell this story to other people because like the vast adventures of Alaska and how fun it could be. So like you were cold. So we had like your little tablets, right?
Yeah.
So I sat you down in the truck and I took my pistol off my hip and I just put it on the center console, kept it loaded. You know how to use a pistol, you know how to load it and everything. So I was like, hey, if anyone comes to the door and they try to talk to you, don't talk to them. If they try to start opening the door or whatever, you know what to do. And you're like, yeah, I've got it, Dad. And then I went back down the mountain, in the 2.5, 3 feet of snow, trying to get this caribou out.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was, is that, we ended up having a guy, help me on a snowmobile. But when I got to work the next day, or on that Monday, one of my soldiers was like, hey, I saw your truck and I stopped. And I was trying to ask your daughter if you needed help and she would have talked to us, which is fine.
I was scared. I didn't know who that was.
Well, I know. It was Ben Starkey. Like, I know who he was. And that's the thing. If he would have known I was down the mountain, he would come help me. But then we threw the caribou in the back of the truck and, we're driving home and we saw another herd. We had 2 tags.
Yeah.
Right? So I was able to shoot another one and get that taken care of. And the whole way home, we're like, hey, we're not going to say nothing to Mom.
Yeah.
I was looking through my photos the other day and I saw the photos of us smiling with the caribou deer, or the caribou's feet sticking out the bed of the truck.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So we
remember I could not lift up. I was struggling lifting
Oh, that's
up
right.
the feet.
Yeah, you
I
were
was like,
trying
I
to help
can't
me.
lift it up, Dad.
Yeah, you were trying to help me throw the second one in the bed.
Yeah.
I remember we called Bomb, like once we got a signal right there by Fox. I'm like, hey, we didn't get anything. Everything's fine. And then we pull in the driveway and we pulled in the driveway and I told you to go in and tell Mom to come here.
Yeah.
And she walked out in the garage and saw we had 2.
She's like, I could have gotten everything ready.
Yeah, I know. Again, those are the small things, that we've had. And granted, like, that was an opportunity in the adventures that we had up in Alaska.
Yeah.
And, we went and saw Mount McKinley and all the other things, went camping while we were there and salmon fishing. So, being in the military, like we still
had fun.
Had fun. We still had the opportunity to travel and see a lot of things, especially in Germany when you're younger. So I look back at that and those are kind of some of the things I kind of miss.
Yeah.
Right. Traveling around and seeing new things and the adventures. But like I said, I think we're definitely ready for the change.
Yeah.
Right, because there's so much more we could do here.
Yeah, I feel like you do need a break. You've been doing this for like 20 years and a few months.
Yeah, almost 21.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you do need a break because you've been working for a while. You've been supporting this family and I absolutely love it. But I feel like you just need change because you've done this for a while.
Well, change is good.
Yeah.
That's why we move every 3 years. Right.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, you got anything else you want to talk about, or are you good?
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you
for
being on.
Anytime.
And like I told your sister, this won't be the only time.
Yeah,
we'll get on some more and we'll share some more stories and talk about life together.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, everyone, thank you for listening to this week's podcast, and I hope you guys have a blessed time. We'll see you next week.
Bye.